Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Huawei Industrial Digital Transformation Conference, Digital Taxation. Based on its leading information and communication technologies, Huawei will launch a global digital tax solution for scenarios such as electronic invoices, the e-revenue authority, and smart risk control, enabling tax digital transformation and building a friendly business climate. The first topic is Data Plus Technology, the catalyst for tax transformation. The speaker is Marilyn Liu from Deloitte, tax partner of the Tax Management Consulting North Region. Please welcome Marilyn.
Hello, my name is Marilyn Liu. I'm tax partner of Deloitte. My today's presentation's topic is Data Plus Technology, the catalyst for tax transformation. My presentation includes three parts. In the first part, I will introduce the big tax digital transformation environment to better explain why tax digital transformation becomes a global hot topic and tax authorities are transforming their tax administration models. In the second part, I will focus on what is the digital transformation situation of tax administration in different countries. In the last part, I will introduce the global technology and tax administration trend based on our observation and official paper promulgated by international organizations. The tax digital transformation would develop so quickly, leaving the big environment. There are four factors pushing the tax digital transformation. The first one is Global Transparency Initiative. Recently, there are multiple global projects such as the BEPS guidance, CRS, which are frequently mentioned in the tax world. Those projects require more extensive country-to-country cooperation and information sharing. The second one is technology evolution of tax authorities. Thanks to requirement of the policies, tax authorities need new technologies to help them to better manage and exchange information data. We're seeing more and more tax authorities adapting new technology into tax administration, such as big data, robotic process automation, cognitive computing, and etc. Things the old method of tax administration hardly achieve effective tax management, neither adapt to the complicated and changeable political and economic environment. And the third one is that enterprises are also seeking digital transformation for in-house tax management. We see tax operation is transforming and remodeling. Many multinational companies are reviewing their internal tax management process, functions, and considering how to leverage the existing human resources and skill side, plus technology as well as internal tax expert to transform tax operation, so that the tax team can be more value-added in facilitating business development. Technology generally can release people from routine and repetitive works and turn to more complicated works, which need human judgment and experiences. The last but not least, we have to mention COVID-19 epidemic breakout. Things change the way people work. Tax authorities adopting countless tax administration approach, for example, e-filing, online tax administration, and etc. Those four factors interact to promote the development of tax digital transformation. And then I will go to my second part, digital transformation of tax administration. Then I will go to the second part. In this part, I will introduce the tax transformation situation of tax administration in different countries. Firstly, I would like to take Chinese tax authority as example. Talking about tax administration in China, we have to mention Golden Three tax system. That is a system all taxpayers know. That is the system used by Chinese tax authorities to levy tax and administer taxpayer. In the system, first of all, Chinese tax authority achieved the cloud migration for individual income tax management. In China, the individual income tax regulation was significantly revised in the beginning of 2019 for the purpose to better serve taxpayer managing significant amount of personal data as well as data exchange among governmental systems. Chinese tax authorities adopt cloud deployment solution, marked the beginning of cloud migration. Secondly, under the Golden Three tax system, Chinese tax authorities began to implement e-invoices. I would like to explain that in China, there are two major types of invoices. One is special invoices. The other is normal invoices. The VAT listed on the special invoices can be deducted as VAT input to credit again VAT output to calculate VAT payable, while the normal invoices cannot serve for this purpose. So that's why Chinese tax authorities take a very strict management on the VAT special invoices. Several years ago, Chinese tax authorities have rolled out normal invoices in China. That lays a foundation of implementation of special invoices. Also, under the Golden Three tax system, tax authority connect data to great extents. Previously, Chinese tax authority were divided into local tax bureau and the state tax bureau. So those two tax bureaus collect different categories of taxes, such as VAT, enterprises income tax, are mainly collected by state tax bureau, while personal tax and property tax are levied by local tax bureau. At the end of the year 2018, the state tax bureau and the local tax bureau combined. Then the data can be shared among two tax bureaus for validation purpose. Golden Three tax system also managed to connect with system of other governmental authorities, such as the Social Security Bureau, Public Security Bureau, Customs, etc., for information sharing and validations. It is also possible under the Golden Three tax system to connect taxpayers' systems. In addition to that, tax authority also adopt intelligence technology such as face recognition, automatic speech recognition, natural language understanding to administer and serve taxpayers. In these slides, I'm going to introduce Golden Four tax system. Things Chinese tax authorities is planning to upgrade the system. The major consideration of the Golden Four system, including three aspects. The first one is take the taxpayer as center. The second one is tax administration will take data as foundation. The third one is the system will be driven by new technology. Compared with Golden Three tax system, the planned development mainly include implement electronic invoices, especially for special invoices, all over the country, so as to reduce the taxpayers' workload in dealing with paper invoices. The second one is use big data to make analysis to accurately locate risk and improve audit efficiency. The third one is to establish the mechanism of pre-prevention, early alerting, and final monitoring. The fourth one is adopting dynamic credit plus risk method and differentiate services and administration. So in the future, the taxpayer should be pay more attention on their ranking, things that means a lot to them. Things tax bureau will use the ranking to judge their management. The fifth one is establishing digital environment government to further expand data connectivity. Also, under the Golden Four system, tax bureau will set up global services with public network and private cloud. In this slide, I'm going to introduce tax administration of other countries. In addition to China, tax authorities of other countries are also making tax digital transformation. I will introduce with the order from west to east based on the world map. In Europe, the trend demonstrates a move toward e-audit and the delivery of a standard audit file. Go to Africa, I will take Angola and Namibia as example. In Angola, the standard audit file for tax is mandatory used for the taxpayer to produce standard files in XML format related to the billing, accounting, and inventory. Well, Namibia tax authorities used a new system known as Integrated Tax Administration System since January 2019. The new system is meant to make tax services accessible 24 hours a day, ensuring taxpayers submit information in the most convenient way. And then let's go to Asia. In Thailand, tax authorities issued a notification prescribing new rules, procedures, and conditions for preparing, issuing, and storing electronic tax invoices and electronic receipt with e-tax invoice system. In Indonesia, e-invoices is also mandatory. And then let's go to Latin America. In Mexico, the tax authority introduced e-invoicing in 2014. Similar to Brazil, invoices need Mexico tax authority's electronic seal to be valid. Moreover, Mexico tax authority require tax return, accounting record, and other reporting obligations are filed in XML format. In Brazil, tax authority also implemented a public system of digital booking to replace paper invoice and tax records. The system comprises 3 pillars, include electronic invoice, digital physical bookkeeping, and digital accounting bookkeeping. In this slide, I'm going to introduce our observation on the tax digital transformation of tax administration, which include similarity in 3 areas. The first one is many tax authorities applying technology to ensure tax administration. Tax authorities are trying and deeply thinking the appropriate digital transformation approach. Due to different tax mechanisms, the digital transformation routes of different countries may be different, but adopting technology to enable tax administration is an irreversible trend. The second one is data becomes important asset of tax administration. Tax authorities are using data to better serve taxpayer and make more efficient management. And the last one is the digital government is the aim of many tax authorities. Data and information are getting more important and transparent. The barrier for information sharing among government authorities and even among countries is diminishing. Then let's go to the third part. In this part, I will introduce you technology and the tax administration trend. The first trend is cloud services. Cloud services can help reduce the cost of developing and testing systems. Cloud allows business and individuals to access on-demand IT services over a network without the need to make large investments in physical capitals. It also provides access to advanced analytics and AI-based solutions that can responding more data processing requirement. And the second one is in e-invoices. Many tax authorities focus on e-invoices management. As I just mentioned that in China, tax authority has implemented normal e-invoices since the year of 2015. In the year of 2020, tax authorities has carried out a pilot program for special e-invoices for newly established taxpayers. It is anticipated that the implementation of special e-invoices will roll out for all taxpayers in the country this year. E-invoices can provide structured data for transactions, which pave the way for further utilization of the data for analysis. And the third one is big data. Big data becomes our important means for effective tax management. With digital transformation, tax administrations can turn data into business asset using predictive modeling. Tax administrations are looking for ways to effectively collect, secure, analyze, and manage structured and unstructured data. This helps to maintain compliance, empowers tax policymakers to make decisions. The last one is mobile connectivity. Improvements in mobile technologies have made online access possible for people who were previously unable to afford fixed broadband connections or found it's difficult to use computers. Many young adults spend much time every day online, with instant messaging and social media enabling an always lifestyle. I suggest mention that Chinese tax authorities in the year of 2019 reformed individual income tax. The tax authorities developed software and provided to public for individual income tax self-declaration. Individuals can download the software for free. People can use mobile phone to declare individual income tax anytime and anywhere. Mobile connectivity made tax declaration more convenient. In summary, in my today's presentation, I share with you about how technology and data catalyze the digital transformation of tax administration from the perspective of one big environment. Second, digital transformation situation of tax administration in different countries. The third one are the global technology and the tax administration trend. Up to now, I have finished my presentation. On this slide, you can find contact information of tax partner from tax management consulting team, which are providing tax digital services. We have worked together with experts from Huawei and prepared a research paper about the digital tax transformation, which will be promulgated today. You can find the report with the link shown on the screen. You have a great day. Bye.
Next, Huawei will release its first digital tax solution. Let's welcome Sheldon Wang, President of Huawei Global Customs and Tax Industries.
As a force for power to drive the development of national economy, tax administration is of great significance to society running, enterprise operation, and even individual development. How to operate the taxation efficiently has always been a far-reaching topic. The tax industry has witnessed the emergence of new technologies. In the early days, tax services relied on manual operations. Then, electronic forms and functional applications were used. Till today, advanced information technologies are being put into the industry. Taxation has evolved from IT-driven to data-driven. The tax industry is going further from traditional functional applications, automated functions, and security control powered by digital means. The data is fully used and facilitates intelligence analysis and decision-making. As society goes ahead, new business modes represented by e-commerce and the internet economy are coming to people's daily life. More companies are set up. They have been seeing a growing number of cross-border trades. During this process, the tax industry has promoted innovative technologies and get their concept upgraded. As new technologies advances, such as cloud, big data, AI, and blockchain, revenue authorities are given more means to provide taxpayers with high-quality services and better experience to support economy development. After digitalization, the tax industry fully used data value to improve the tax operations efficiency, supervision efficiency, and risk control. In this way, the government gains more revenue and provides better tax services for taxpayers, supervision agencies, and decision makers, building a new era of digital tax administration. New pain points and challenges have emerged as new economies, technologies, and concepts lead the digital change. Pain point 1, loose supervision with few data. A number of companies pay no tax and are put beyond the supervision of revenue authorities. Their transaction data is transferred in paper due to a lower level of computerization, making it difficult for tax administration to search. Pain point 2, poor experience with single service. As the number of companies grows, the company has diverse business weights, industry services, and tax history. However, these differences are most neglected while provided with the same service. In some countries, a company usually needs to take hours, days, or even longer to close a tax reporting. Besides, service processes are usually long and require on-site handling, leading to high labor cost and difficulty. Pain point 3, high risk with limited audit. We see in many countries the way of auditing is not effective in real-time risk control. Most risk control relies on the manual queries and seeks accountability after incidents. Scientific algorithm and prediction analysis models are in need. To tackle these challenges, Huawei worked with excellent industry partners and jointly developed digital tax administration solution based on our technical practice and industry thoughts. It will help in the management of tax collection, taxpayer services, and decision-making support. The tax service is a key to tax management. Its quality matters a lot during tax transformation. As the core of tax transformation, the Electronic Revenue Authority is bearing a new task of upgrading the service to online, intelligence, and integrated. In terms of taxpayer service, the ERA scheme provides taxpayers with multiple channels. Before the introduction of Huawei's intelligent cloud platform with data processing ability, mainly 85 manual counter services were available, while today, the ERA provides 24/7 online services from end to end. The cloud and network are integrated with a highly available architecture. This ensures that the service is secure, available, and accessible even at peak time. With the support of Huawei AI and big data ability, data and rules are integrated to enable the intelligence analysis within simplified process. Return forms are pre-filled, reduced, or even avoided. According to the taxpayer's credit risk level, a differentiated service is provided to improve the experience and efficiency. At the same time, the cost lowers down for tax compliance of companies and tax collection by revenue authorities. With both online and offline channels, the Revenue Authority develops a new and efficient digital tax ecosystem that covers all functions, full processes, and all scenarios. It helps precisely monitor risks, reduce costs, and increase revenue. This will help promote new economic development as well. If you want to use the data value, you must have the data. This is the most important rule for VAT management. Due to a lack of ICT, traditional invoices were paper-based. The Revenue Authority cannot master their flows in real time. Also, companies have to transmit them by post. The receiving and sending parties need to communicate with each other for multiple times. The inspection and the storage costs are high as well. Therefore, we need to consider how to design a better transaction credential system. It will help a lot to promote enterprise efficiency, improve the taxpayer service, and even optimize the business climate of a country. Used by revenue authorities and companies, the e-invoice solution is total paperless from its claim, billing, and transfer. Companies get connected to the revenue authority system easily. Invoices are billed and received online in a short time with less cost. With a simple control means in the revenue authority, more companies will pay their tax with little resistance. The e-invoice brings much transaction data that is out of the revenue authority's control. Now it's under real-time monitoring and will help in decision-making optimization, national macroeconomic analysis, and precise policy formulation. The Revenue Authority will have more data, not only its own data about taxpayers, but also that from other government agencies or units about the transaction, assets, and credit. With the help of big data, AI, and expertise, the Revenue Authority will find compliance risks more accurately after special analysis. The data will also be used for regional or industry tax analysis because it reflects the country's economic status and will help analyze the trading network and product structure. iRisk is developed based on the data lake. It allows access and management of the massive data. Machine learning, deep learning, and special AI algorithms were used to explore the data value so as to realize smarter and more accurate tax analysis. The system is set up using special models and help detect and stop illegal tax actions effectively. A forecast model is also developed based on the big data. The forecast result is helpful to decision-making and policy optimization of tax administration. Huawei Digital Tax Solution is a comprehensive portfolio for revenue authorities and taxpayers. It uses new technologies such as AI, big data, and cloud computing. The bottom layer of the solution is intelligent interactions. As the foundation of both physical and digital worlds, PCs, mobile devices, kiosks, and billing terminals are connected online and offline. This enables taxpayers and tax regulators to engage in tax services easily, efficiently, and anywhere. The second layer of the solution is intelligent connection. As the body of the digital tax, applications, data, organizations, as well as revenue authority, taxpayers, and companies are fully connected and coordinated using Wi-Fi, IoT, and other network connection technologies. On this basis, data transmits fast to facilitate real-time services in various scenarios, such as online service, mobile service, and tax source control. The third layer is the intelligent hub. All types of data are gathered from cloud, edges, and terminal to explore the data value based on the digital cloud foundation. It also builds an AI-powered dynamic credit and risk management system to meet application requirements in all scenarios. The top layer of the solution is smart applications. Huawei worked with the revenue authorities and software partners to optimize tax administration processes and restructure experience of the taxpayer service. We have created intelligent industry application for all scenario solutions. Diverse services and intelligent management are provided to meet the requirements of the taxpayers based on the technologies such as AI, big data, and cloud computing. Huawei developed electronic invoice, electronic revenue authority, iRisk, and other tax solutions. These help foster a tax ecosystem featuring high-quality service and smart tax administration. Thank you. The key of tax management is data, from which we learn the wisdom of administration. How to manage the tax data efficiently has become one of the most significant topics in tax administration. Now, let's welcome Mr. Michael Van, the Vice President of Enterprise Data Storage Technical Sales Department. He will introduce our storage solution for tax data management.
Hi, Mr. Sheldon. Yes, as you said, information comes from data, and the value is a result of information extraction. Under the digital tax trend, the industry needs advanced IT infrastructure to ensure the business growing. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Michael Fan. Today, it's my great honor to share with you of the next topic, all-flash-enabled cloud data center, new engine for tax digitalization. With the deepening of digital transformation, the following trends are happening in the tax industry. First, the taxpayer services. To facilitate tax filing, tax services are evolving from counter to mobile, 24/7 service, online, and ultimate service experience. Second, the e-invoice. To improve the transparency of the tax supervision and achieve information-based tax management, more and more countries have shifted from paper invoice to electronic ones. Third, BI data analysis. To improve decision-making capabilities, BI analysis system collects data from multiple sources instead of single data source, helping to realize tax risk control and tax audit. These trends bring increasingly intensified performance challenges. For taxpayer services, in the past, more than 80% of tax filing services are processed at the counter, and only 5/8 services provided. And the service concurrency is also limited by the number of the counters. In the era of mobile tax handling, the counter services are reduced to less than 20%. More than 80% of tax payment services are handled through online tax filing channels, such as mobile phones and PCs. The transition to online tax filing services brings more obvious service search, which asks for quicker tax filing response. For example, in country N, the national tax system has more than 12 million tax refunds to process per year. In non-peak time, 40,000 tax refunds are processed every day. However, in peak time, the number hits to 400,000, which increases 10 times. This brings huge service pressure for the tax service system and causes high risk of data congestion. As a result, the system response is slowing down. For example, sometimes it responds in minutes or even fails to process. This greatly impacts the tax service experience. For e-invoice, with the popularity of e-invoice, the quantity of electronic invoices is increasing rapidly, which urges demands acceleration of invoice collection. Take country B from Latin America as an example. From 2015 to 2018, the number of electronic invoices increasing by 20 times, from 1.1 billion to 23 billion. Since the electronic invoices need to be recorded in the invoice management in real time, the sharp increase of invoices brings great challenges to the IT system. Take Black Friday in our state of country B as an example. In peak hours, 3.4 million invoices need to be issued every hour, which is 13 times more than non-peak hours. The sharp increase in invoice to be collected leads to frequent service congestion, which leads to slower or even failed invoice collection. As a result, transactions cannot be supervised in real time. For BI data analysts, the data for an analyst is no longer only derived from the tax office itself. Instead, they gradually collect data from multiple channels, such as management data, invoice data, internet data, social media data, government agency data, and enterprise financial data, etc. This greatly increased the data volume used for analysts. Take China's electronic invoice as an example. It is predicted that Amount of invoices will increase from more than 20 billion from last year to more than 50 billion in the 2021. And the amount of the data will increase from 400 terabyte to 1.2 petabyte, which is 3 times increase. Facing the increasing data volume, it is difficult for tax analyst system to output analyst reports within a specific time window. For example, from early morning 2 o'clock to 8 o'clock. Take the tax system of the country R's tax office as an example. It takes 4 hours to finish analysis based on about 100 terabyte data. If an issue occurs during the process and correspondingly data analysis restarts, it's difficult to ensure that the report can be outputted on time before 8 a.m. for the tax directors to inquire and make decisions. Besides the performance challenges, the reliability also really matters for the 7x24 running online tax services. If services are interrupted for an hour, it will cause the failed fulfillment of nearly 10,000 tax refund requests, greatly affecting taxpayers' experience. Here, I will share a story about that. At 0:40 a.m. on December 12, 2016, the storage devices from a vendor supporting the tax administration system of country A suddenly encountered a hardware failure, and unfortunately, the vendor is failed to fix the fault on time. In addition, although the customer had established an asynchronous DR solution, no data restore attempt from the DR side was performed since no DR switchover drill was performed before, and they are afraid of damaging the data integrity by doing so at that moment. As a result, 1 petabyte data was unavailable, tax management services were interrupted, and the users cannot apply for taxes. So this happened during the Christmas month in that country. Most service applications were restored until the December 15th. The service interruption of more than 32 hours greatly affects taxpayers' experience. During the service interruption, about 130 plus taxpayers complained about this failure to fulfill the tax refunds. Huawei Ocean Store Dorado offline storage is optimal choice for tax service to address the increasing prominent business efficiency and reliability challenges with its benchmark setting capabilities. Based on the innovative disk controller collaboration technology, FlashLink, and high-performance network, NVMe over Fabric, Huawei offline storage sets a performance benchmark in industry. The third-party SPC1 test result shows that Huawei offline storage can achieve 21 million ALPS, which is leading in the industry. It is 40 times higher than peer vendors. The stable latency hits 0.05 milliseconds, which is also 2 times faster than the peer vendors. Based on the innovation technologies, Huawei offline storage sets a reliability benchmark in the industry as well. Huawei offline storage system can tolerate 7 controller failure out of 8 without service interruption, powered by the full interconnected high-end storage architecture, which we call it Smart Matrix. In addition, Huawei all-flash storage supports the gateway-free active-active data center solution and delivers up to 99.9999 reliability. Through our practice, using Huawei all-flash storage to swap traditional storage systems can greatly increase service efficiency and ensure stable service running. Here, we illustrate the benefits brought by offline storage in different tax services scenarios based on our practice. First, take the National Tax Authority of Country A, for example. In the taxpayer service scenario, all-flash is used to ensure zero interruption of tax services and quick identification of tax risks in the face of 10 times service search and 7/24 online service running. Based on high-end all-flash architecture and active-active data center solution, tax services are not interrupted, providing taxpayers with ultimate tax services experience anytime and anywhere. In addition, all-flash improves storage performance by 10 times, from 10 milliseconds to 1 millisecond latency. Shortens services response time from each request from minutes level to seconds level, and improves the service response speed by more than 6 times. This helps quickly assess tax risks in real time and reduce tax loss risks. Second, take the R-State Tax Authority of Country B, for example. In the e-invoice, all-flash is used to realize zero delay in invoice recording and real-time transaction monitoring to face the increase of 10 times invoices. All-flash improves storage performance by 20 times and improves invoice collection speed by 1.5 times. It eliminates data processing bottlenecks, implements zero delay in invoice debiting, and realizes real-time transaction monitoring. Huawei all-flash storage has been accepted by global 12,000 customers from various industries. We have partnered with more than 1,000 government customers overseas. Among these customers, we see the growing popularity of deploying Huawei storage in service systems in tax, customs, and also government's finance department. The customers are from Europe, Latin America, Asia Pacific, Middle East, etc. For example, the Ministry of Finance of Indonesia chose Huawei for the mission-critical finance systems and tax systems. Besides, Huawei storage also has been accepted by 37 banks among the global 100. For example, Brazil's largest private bank, Itaú, has deployed more than 10 petabyte Huawei all-flash storage to support their mission-critical business. What's more, Huawei also serves more than 160 enterprise customers in the Global 500 and more than 300 leading telco operators worldwide. Behind the trust of global customers, there is Huawei's continuous investment and innovations in the IT technologies for more than 20 years. Based on the profound accumulation, Huawei keeps launching innovative storage products and solutions, which won highly recognition in the industry and have been continuously named as the leader in the Gartner Magic Quadrant. Thanks for your time.
Let's welcome Peter Xu, Director of Strategic Business Development from Baiwan Corporation.
Hello, and welcome to Huawei Industrial Digital Transformation Conference. I'm Peter Xu from Baiwan. Digital transformation is now in full swing. As the world embraces digital economy, many countries and regions are still using lots of paper bills, creating several obstacles for the digital economy. First, reliance on paper bills limits the efficiency of resource transaction. Take this diagram as an example. Bills are printed by the government, shipped to the selling company, who then issues them to the buying company, where they are collected, verified, accounted, and archived. This is a very long process, full of manual operations, such as issuance and verification. This restrains the efficiency of public services, enterprise transactions, and the society at large. The second downside to paper bills is that they are costly to use. During printing, to prevent forgery, we invest heavily in selecting the right paper and ink, and in innovating printing techniques. During usage, there's a lot of logistics costs to ship the bills to the right place. The recipient companies also spend a lot each year on archiving and storage, which wastes social and financial resources. Another downside is that with paper bills, governments cannot get real-time information for taxation. Once a bill goes to an enterprise, tax authorities can no longer track it, and therefore cannot manage the risks it involves. Consumers face risks too, as it's hard to tell if an invoice is real or forged. They risk receiving a fake one. That's why invoice digitalization is urgently needed. But invoice digitalization requires not only changing invoices into electronic forms, but also transforming the way they are managed and distributed. With invoice digitalization, we can bring new impetus to everyone involved in the digital economy. Governments will be able to offer a more friendly business climate. Instead of collecting bills offline, enterprises can do it online and automatically, making government services more efficient and convenient. Based on information from e-invoice, governments can also perform supervision throughout invoice lifecycle. E-invoice can also better support real-time cross-check with other information flows, such as bank cash flow. With invoice digitalization, e-invoice can flow through securely and easily. This reduces manual intervention during its life cycle and improves transaction efficiency. It can also support building a complete, real-time, electronic taxation ledger, so that tax authorities can be informed of the social and economic activities in real time. Invoice digitalization also creates a conducive environment for the informatization and digital transformation of enterprises, as it facilitates integration and coordination of business, finance, and tax. The web of information about enterprises can also bring new opportunities for the industrial internet upgrade. As for consumers, invoice digitalization reduces the risk of forgery, protects their legitimate interests, and contributes to healthy business growth. Invoice digitalization can lead to the digitalization of other types of bills. Invoice is only one of many links in the whole business chain, though a very special one, being uniquely identifiable, tamper-proof, and forge-proof. These features can be applied to other types of bills, from orders of purchase to e-shipping tickets during shipment, from cargo settlement tickets to receipts and electronic bank acknowledgement slips. These bills has already started or will soon undergo their digital transformation. Once they are all digital, the entire business process will be reshaped. For governments, it can improve efficiency and streamline processes, enabling them to control taxation with data rather than bills, and shift their role from supervision to service. As for enterprises, it can bring the opportunity of digital transformation. No matter how things change, enterprises always need to address three things: cutting costs and raising efficiency, risk control and compliance, and improving revenue. I want to share how Baiwan can help enterprises seize the opportunity of digital transformation based on digital invoices, tickets, and certificates. This is what Baiwan is built on. Since its establishment, Baiwan has been dedicated to providing online, automated, and intelligent products and efficient invoice lifecycle management to support enterprises' centralized management and sharing of payment and sales based on invoices. Invoices are not just receipts, they are associated with product, buyer, and seller information. In China, around 300 billion invoices are transacted each year. Behind them is an enormous business network that contains immense information about products and businesses. With such data, Baiwan digital business platform can help companies quickly build up data analysis capability to get critical insights regarding costs, supply chains, compliance, decision-making, and transactions. These are the 5 capabilities offered by the platform: smart procurement, smart chain, smart invoice, smart tax, and smart digital technology, which support companies in achieving their business goals. But this platform would not have been possible without strong support. We need reliable and fast network, flexible and scalable resource management, and efficient and stable DC services, all of which Huawei Cloud can offer. Here, I want to share with you how, with digital invoices, tickets, and certificates, Baiwan Business Platform can help enterprises achieve collaborative digital asset transaction. These digital bills connect all transaction parties, including governments, businesses, employees, consumers, third-party service providers, LSPs, distributors, suppliers, and FSIs. With big data and machine learning, we can build maps of enterprises, supply chains, and industry chains. All parties on the chain can share bill information in real time, trace its source, coordinate purchasing, sales, and logistics, and offer scenario-based supply chain financial services. This is the capability that Baiwan Supply Chain Cloud can offer. Within enterprises, Baiwan Tax Cloud can digitalize core business transactions based on digital bills to facilitate better information flow and sharing. On top of that, an integrated collaboration system for business, finance, and tax can be built to automate expense reimbursement, share workforce, and digitally manage accounting archives. When digital bills are widely used, the value of data assets can be fully unleashed. Baiwan Billing Cloud can help companies acquire and accumulate extensive digital billing information and create a digital billing center. The Baiwan Procurement Cloud, powered by big data and AI, can provide analysis of industries and supply chains to optimize business interactions and support strategic sourcing, recommendation, price inquiry and comparison, and open procurement. The Baiwan Digital Technology Cloud can combine the analysis results with fintech and provide credit enhancement and loan assistance services for companies. and credit scoring service and industry index analysis report for FSIs and governments. These are the capabilities of Baiwan digital business platform based on digital invoices, tickets, and bills. In China, we serve over 2,000 corporations, over 600,000 high-growth companies, 10 million small, medium, and micro-sized companies, as well as nearly 300 million consumers. Our platform is now also available in Latin America. We hope to serve more users across the world in the future with basic invoice, ticket, and certificate information services and value-added data services. That's also why we have partnered with Huawei Cloud. Huawei Cloud offers powerful cloud services all over the world, including stable and efficient basic services and database middleware services like distributed database and data lake, and perfectly meets our needs in handling operation services and peak traffic. I firmly believe that with strong support from Huawei Cloud, Baiwan Business Platform will provide more high-quality services to support companies and governments in their digital transformation journey. Thank you.
Now let's welcome Qian Xiaolei, Vice President of ServeU Government Group.
Hello, everyone. As a partner of Huawei, it's my great honor to attend the Huawei Industrial Digital Transformation Conference in 2021. Today, my topic is New Collection and Service in Next Generation E-Revenue Authority. I'm Qian Xiaolei, Vice President of the Government Group of ServeU. First, let me introduce ServeU to you. Since its founding in 1999, ServeU has focused on the tax industry for 20-plus years. It's a core supplier of the third phase of the Golden Tax Project of the State Taxation Administration of China. Up to now, it has served the STA, 36 provincial and over 330 municipal revenue agencies, 28 million enterprise taxpayers, 270 million natural person taxpayers, 1 billion social security payers, and 18 million tax practitioners, providing comprehensive technical and software services for them. Now, let's look at the opportunities and challenges in the digital transformation of the tax industry. They can be summarized with two keywords. The first one is increase. With the reform of individual income tax and social security fees, user base and service volume have increased dramatically. Take the IIT app as an example. When it was launched in 2018, the peak concurrent volume was 34,000 TPS, beyond the capacity of traditional IT architecture. The second keyword is decrease or simplify. In the current global environment, and as government reform deepens, taxpayers are increasingly demanding for simplified and faster services. Traditional management could no longer meet such demands. How could we carry out tax digitalization? Let's first look at Huawei's digital transformation practices. It first built an internal multi-cloud service platform based on Huawei Cloud and accumulated and analyzed service process data on the IT platform, and then used the data for process optimization. Driven by digital operation, it continuously improves the data and provides valuable services for internal and external users, and further optimizes organizational capabilities. Based on Huawei's practices in digital transformation, we believe that data-driven services and knowledge-driven data are the key to digital transformation. Therefore, the tax digitalization is based on the tax knowledge map and uses data, roles, and knowledge to support smart tax services, smart management, and smart decision-making. Therefore, building a smart tax knowledge map is the key and foundation of the next generation e-revenue authority. It continuously collects internal and external data of enterprises and taxpayer behaviors for modeling and analysis, and applies the data to service processes to meet taxpayers' requirements and provide personalized services to them. It also maps out association between taxpayers and streamlines the upstream and downstream relationships and daily operations of taxpayers to support smart tax management and decision-making. To build a smart tax knowledge map, we need to combine the strengths of Serviu and Huawei. Huawei provides a powerful unified AI platform with abundant proven algorithms, unified algorithm management, and reusable computing resources. Serviu has accumulated extensive service experience in taxation over 20 years. Together, we built a new base of smart tax knowledge, that is, the smart tax brain. The core of the smart tax map is knowledge. Huawei and Serviu have jointly developed new knowledge of smart tax operations or structured tax policies. Rules are derived from data to drive self-optimization and become knowledge in the tax brain. Digital accounts need to be separately created for enterprise taxpayers and natural persons. We then add correlations between them and tax based on tax rules to create user profiles, which can simplify and automate services. Finally, feedbacks of users are used for self-optimization, making knowledge more accurate. Tax digitalization is impossible without information systems. In this context, Serviu and Huawei jointly built a next-generation e-revenue authority. Huawei provides leading cloud, big data, and AI products to empower technological and digital transformation. Based on Huawei's products, Serviu builds business and data platforms to support knowledge-driven business. Together, we have created an architecture that supports collaboration between state and provincial authorities, business innovation, and tax digitalization. Serviu and Huawei will continue to cooperate to build the next-generation e-revenue authority to support the transformation of tax payment and collection to provide new and better experience, and support China's reform of government functions and improvement of business environment. Lastly, I would like to thank you all for listening and thank Huawei for its support to tax digitalization. That's all from me. Thank you.
We are glad to invite another partner here. Let's welcome Huang Cong from ITOS, expert in customs and tax industry consulting, system architecture, and digital transformation.
Hello, everyone. My name is Harrison, the senior tax and customs expert in ITOS. Today, I will bring you the journey of the digital revenue administration. I will bring you the experience we have been doing for the AI-enhanced taxpayer audit. Digitalization is transforming many aspects of our everyday life, as well as the way our economy and society is organized and functions. The breadth and the speed of the changes brought about by this digital transformation is raising a large number of the public policy challenges. It's also changing the nature of the policymaking itself. Through the emergence of the new range of tools to support the development and the implementation of the policies, you may already hear the Digital Service Tax Bill is issued to Facebook in France in this year. You may also hear the Uber, which is changing totally the employment status of some drivers. You may also know in some countries, including China, every citizen could see or pay his or her tax bills via the mobile devices. All those demonstrate how digitalization has a wide range of implications for taxation, impacting tax policy and the tax administration at both domestic and international level, offering new tools and of course introducing new challenges for the tax administration around the globe. Recent years, we have seen a large increase in amount of the third-party data available to tax authorities, coupled with the lower storage costs and the advances in analytical techniques. Owning large amount of data is not challenging any longer, but understanding those data are posing greater challenges for the tax administrations. Now, revolution is needed for building a data-driven e-government. To resolve those challenges, Huawei and Atos are working together to bring these new smart tax solutions to help tax administration around the world take their digital transformation journey with ease. Huawei has its wide breadth of world top-class hardware products and a powerful Huawei cloud, which create a solid and advanced technological base at the bottom. Then Atos, as the leading tax and the customer service provider in the world, brings world-class consultancy, software products, implementation and operation service on the top. You may see in the middle are the digital transformation, the digital platforms combining the business know-how and the technical components into a fully reusable, scalable, always available APIs and data lake. You may also see mobile, cloud, big data, IoT, AI are all merged into different business scenarios to improve the taxation efficiency, policy effectiveness, taxpayer self-compliance, and the taxpayer services, etc., which are the key business KPIs for taxation digitalization. With Huawei Future Insight, tax data platform is embedded with a very powerful data lake, all based on the industrial open source products. The data lake can support very large cluster nodes, can perform very fast and support both batch and stream processing, and of course be always online. Future Insight also achieve real-time incremental synchronization with data sources. The data storing and processing are instant, ensure the T+0 analysis. Also, the offline data warehouse can be migrated into the real-time data warehouse and analyzed in real time. Future Insight could also support interactive search and support SQL access, which is the access and analysis of the data. With this tax data platform, is actually expanding the capability of the tax administration in a wide range of ways to enhance the effectiveness of compliance activities, improve taxpayer services, and reduce the compliance burden. Risk-based case selection automates the scoring of the taxpayers based on the weights set by the risk rules according to the experience and AI patterns. The system could also identify the area of suspicion based on the risk model configured in the risk rules, which could also instruct auditors to perform inspections. Auditor assignments is also automated based on the matching model set by the system to maximize the efficiency of the audit work. Then the audit report will also be checked to show the amendment and analyze the background reasons of such amendment. Finally, the audit will lead to results either revise the assessments or compliance based on the penalty and the interest. Regarding to the risk analysis and the audit case selection, we will leverage data. This data can be the transaction and income data, behavioral data generated from taxpayer interaction with the tax administration. It can be operational data on ownership, identity, and the location. They can also be external data coming from various parties to for bring the valuation and property in the internet website. It can be individual sources or in combining to enable the partial or fully reporting of the taxable income and to uncover the underreporting, evasion, or fraud. It can also be used to better understand the taxpayer behavior, to measure the impact of the activities and identify the most effective interventions, both proactive and reactive. For the audit, we can also be digitalized by mobile and IoT technology, which will help make the audit process fully transparent and auditable itself. Based on the different type of the audit and the selection rules, the instruction with checklist and the steps will be given to the field auditor to record and final report. Then with the advanced data analytical capability in the digital platform, revenue management can also easily perform the prevention measures, which can help them to monitoring the core business and send the alert in real time. Also, you can perform the data-driven diagnosis and insight. You can analyze the data to identify the problems, not only for the policy part, but also for the administration part. It can also perform the intelligence prediction to see and project the revenue increase, the policy impact, and tune the policy making and the execution of the policy step by step. Finally, it can also help to make the better decision by the revenue authority. This will all come back to the data platform to tracking from the policy planning, the case selection making, the auditing, and the final result. It will create the whole loop to see how effective the measure is taking. And also with this digital platform, the business and the technical capability of the tax administration will be architected as a microservice APIs and data marts inside this platform and reused by the different business applications. With the fast-changing economic context, the new business can also be created in the fly with the existing capabilities already inside and building into this platform. To conclude, why you should choose Huawei and Atos to provide this solution? Because we are able to provide end-to-end solutions and products with our best practices and also the customized capability inside our solutions. We are also able to create the full views of your taxpayer with the federated blueprint and the economic operators. We can also combine the financial and the tax administration with various different systems, including SAP. With our experience in the risk management, we are able to create the federated risk management blueprint, leveraging intelligence and creating audit and enforcement approaches for you. Also, we have the dedicated data scientists to create AI model based on your data to create the prediction and reduce the compliance burdens. Finally, we have a long history knowledge in the tax and the customs, which help us to understand your requirements, understand how help you to digitalize your tax administration. Above is my today's speech. Thank you for your time.
I hope that today's presentation will convince you that Huawei will always stay customer-centric and work together with our partners to continuously build an open, advanced, and sustainable digital tax ecosystem. Now, let's come together and launch the Huawei digital tax solution. Thank you.